You're not going to hear it in a podcast. You're not going to read it in a self-help book. You're not going to watch it in an inspirational TikTok. The things you want to do in this life are going to require you to actually fucking show up and try to change. The life you want isn't going to come from a fucking Pinterest quote. It's not going to be a video that changes your perspective. It's not going to be a moment of clarity. It's going to be you. Nobody can change your life like you can, and nothing in your life will change until you do. Just try.
All right, so like he said in this video, man, this is actually a really good topic. He said, if you want to change your actual life, you just got to start doing shit. Now, this is what I talk about every time I go live with this touching grass, right? That's like the term that the Gen Z people say, touching grass or whatever. But the reason I talk about this shit is because the way I made changes, and people are like, yo, you got a crazy transformation. It's kind of like isekai. The way I made those changes was just literally failing over and over. That simple. Like it was actually not special. The game plan was okay, but it got better as I learned more by doing. Because you learn pretty much everything that you need to learn through doing. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's y'all be listening to my stories, or if I say something that you resonate with, or you feel like yo that was real, it's because I've been through it by trying. So when you actually like take more action and you do less thinking, you're gonna get further. Most people have analysis paralysis. They overthink shit and they never do anything. Like I've seen, there's this one dude, right? And he was like, and we're in the same spot. We're both doing nursing and shit. And he was like, yeah, man, I just want to be an online coach. Listen, he's in better shape than me. All right, cool. But he was like, yeah, I want to be an online coach. He just never took that step. I was like, okay, try it. Like, start. He's like, no, I gotta wait till. And now it's like, what, 6 years later, and he's still, he never did it because he just kept waiting. If he took that first step, he would have learned from it. Because in reality, that's another thing that y'all have misconceptions about is literally everything, social media, everything, entrepreneurship to shit. The only way to get better at that stuff is to post a lot. Like I said, with the social media stuff, if you guys trying to grow your page, you gotta post like motherfucking at least 3 times a day. But how do you know what to post? You learn what to post by posting. But if you don't post, you won't learn what to post because you won't know how shit works. You see what I'm saying? So you can keep reading a bunch of books, you could keep watching a bunch of videos, but if you don't do anything, you'll never get anywhere. And I see a lot of you guys, listen, I see a lot of you guys commenting on my videos, commenting on other people's videos, and then 6 months passes and you say what your goal is and it's the same that it was 6 months ago. So you need to start locking in and doing what you need to do and stop just watching a bunch of motivational shit and be like, oh my God, that was motivational. Listen, motivational videos, I don't see them as motivation. I see them as, highlighting something that I need to work on, basically, so I can start working on it and execute. Like, I don't know how anybody has a copy of the book Atomic Habits or Compound Effect and is not in shape, bro. That doesn't make any sense to me. Or Think and Grow Rich and is not in shape and out of debt. Like, those books will get you in shape and will get you out of debt with the mindset and delayed gratification that they preach. And the habit and compounding of everything. Because in reality, man, like, what you learn when you do too is so important, because when you start doing shit, you realize that, damn, bro, like, I know I heard Luther say it, and I know I heard in videos, I heard Napoleon Hill say it about, failure is the prerequisite to success, but now I understand what it means. That's how you're going to understand it. You're going to understand what it means when you actually start to do shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's how you learn. You literally, everything you learn is from doing shit. Like, for example, the way I do my workouts and stuff like that, all of it is based on theoretical plus actual. Right, that's what it's based on, because theoretical is always going to be different, and then theoretical, a lot of times you got to think about who it's from. Like, if there's a theoretical workout to do, is it from someone who's bodybuilding? Is it from someone who's taking steroids or some shit like that? It might be. A lot of times it is. So it's like you can't really take that advice because it's not going to apply to you. You feel me? As a natty, it's just not going to apply to you. It's not going to work. So you also got to look at that. And then another thing is, like, obviously, I noticed that mostly this body game shit is mostly like black dudes and shit like that, right? Because we have like I don't know, it's just different. Because I got some homeboys or white dudes and pull some of the baddest bitches I've ever seen, and they're usually when we go out, I'm like, all right, we're finna go out, right? So if we gonna go out, you see, I'm dripped out. I got like a chain, I got gold watch or some shit, got a fresh haircut. I mean, the taper is going crazy. All of that shit. And then I got like a V-long shirt or a nice shirt or something, at least a fitted shirt, and some decent jeans and some decent shoes or some shit. And then, I go out with my boy, and, he got like a motherfucking, what's that shit, Bass Pro Shop shirt on and just like some fucking cargos and some dirty shoes, and he's just pulling shit. He's just pulling shit. You feel what I'm saying? So I know like a lot of this body game shit is mostly for dudes, because I mean mostly for like black dudes, because I feel like it's definitely different. Like definitely a different vibe or different like expectations that we have. But anyways, a lot of you guys also ask a lot of you guys also ask, like dating questions and shit like that. The only way to learn any of that shit or to get better at any of that shit is by doing, to be honest. Because I'll never forget my first like, have a chick come over. Like the first time I had that happen, that shit was awkward as hell, which is always gonna be because it's your first time doing this shit. Versus the thousandth time or the motherfucking 2000th time or whatever it is for y'all. But yeah, versus like the 200 time or some shit like that, it's super smooth because you've done it so many times. That's the only way you get good at it. If you didn't do it the first time, you wouldn't get to the 200th time. And a lot of you guys don't realize that. That's why I say get on body game, because the process of fitness is the same way. Because here we go. To lose, everyone who wants to lose like 15-20% body fat, you really can't without losing 1% first. Simple. You see what I'm saying? So think about it. Like, you want to go from 25 to 10% body fat, right? You're gonna have to go from 25 to 24 first. All right. It's that simple. But a lot of you guys want to go straight from 25 to 10, and when you can't find a way to do it, you literally just you just quit because you can't find a way to skip the process. The process is what's going to make you the 10% body fat self anyways. So same thing with these, with these chicks, because a lot of you guys be asking me dumbass questions and shit about, oh, how do I get this chick? How do I get that chick? Wrong mentality, scarcity mindset, but that's because you don't touch grass. You don't actually go out and do and try. Because once you try, you're gonna like, what does the Bible say about, seek and you shall find? Like, that's how it works. Like, if you start knocking on the doors and you start doing shit and you start trying shit, you're gonna learn. Like, if someone actually just wanted to get the most chicks, which is what they used to do back in the day, like, y'all remember, millennials specifically, y'all remember that back in the day we used to do that shit where it's like, hey, let's see how many numbers you can get. I remember spring break 2014, was it? 2015, FAMU. I was with the guys, and they're like, yo, who can get the most numbers or whatever. If you actually just wanted to get the most chicks, you just literally just try to get the most chicks, right? I'm not in the business of doing that shit now, all right? But back then it was like, yeah, let's see how many numbers you can get. Since we focused, and that's what we're fixated on for like 6 hours of walking through Panama City or whatever. I think I tied my homeboy or whatever. I got like 20. I got like 20, man. And we learned, because we had an objective, we learned how to, use mouthpiece. Because I mean, listen, we're not on body game except one of us. So I was cooked. So I learned how to use mouthpiece because I had to finesse my way in that shit. I got like 20 numbers or some shit. He got like what did he get, like 19 or whatever. But yeah, it was, right? Because we just tried. That's that simple. If you're trying to get lean, guess what you're going to start to do? You're going to start to pay attention to things that don't get you lean and things that, and you're going to start to focus on things that do get you lean, right? And then you're going to start to ask lean people questions. And guess what? Lean people are going to give you answers. And then you're going to be one step closer every single day to get lean. All right. It's like that. My favorite quote by Socrates, that's like someone asking him, hey, man, how do I get to Mount Olympus? And he just says, make sure every step you take is in the direction of Mount Olympus. You'll get there eventually. That's how shit works. But you guys want to take a private jet to Mount Olympus, right? That's going to be there in 3 seconds. That's not how shit works. Instant gratification is part of a society and shit like that, and I know you guys are obsessed with it, but that's not how the journey of actually becoming something or accomplishing anything works. It's not gonna be like that. It's not gonna be that sweet. All right, I know. Like, listen, I know most of you guys really, really just want to be like, man, I just want to be 10% body fat. Because I'll talk to some people and I'm like, I talk to a lot of people, obviously, like, Instagram, TikTok, Zoom calls, things like that. But a lot of people will always tell me, like, man, if I can just be lean, if I can just have a shoulder waist ratio like you, I'm like, bro, you can, but you're not about that life. Like, the only thing separating me and you is literally you, because you're already working out a lot of times, just what you eat. And you just don't have discipline because you don't want it bad enough. That's all it is. You can literally change anytime you want to. That is actually crazy if you think about it. Any day, like, that's how much free will you have. Any day you can wake up and be like, you know what? I'm not going to go to McDonald's anymore. You know what? I'm not going to eat this cookie anymore. I'm just going to eat high protein shit. And then guess what? Because you're eating high protein every day in a deficit, eventually you're going to have to be lean. You just can't not be lean. And then you're maintaining strength in the gym. Boom, shoulder waist ratio is probably better than mine now. It's that simple. You can make that decision every day. It's just you guys always you guys spend so much time like concocting up these plans like a fucking Disney Channel villain or some shit, trying to find a perfect plan to get lean. And they're like, no, I have to fast every other day. It's like, no, you don't, bro. This is the dumbest shit I ever heard. I have to intermittent fast. Listen, I say this shit every day. All right. And I'm gonna stick by this shit. I'm gonna stand on business with that shit. It doesn't matter what mode that you use as long as you're in a high protein calorie deficit. If you do want to fast because it makes you feel better and you think that, you're gonna have 300 more percent growth hormone, you know what I mean? If that placebo effect works in your mind, then do it. If you want to do keto because you feel like your body doesn't respond well to carbs, you just don't understand shit. Like, I'll just quick science lesson, nothing crazy. But yeah, when you are heavier set, 40 to 30% body fat, you're not going to handle carbs well because you have insulin resistance. Once you lose a lot of fat, right? Obviously, you're going to handle carbs better, so it's not even going to matter, right? That's why I can go to Crumble Cookie and eat a whole fucking box and I'll be fine. Versus someone who's 30%, they can't do that shit, all right? They're going to store more of it as fat than I do, right? Simple. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that you have to cut out all carbs when you're trying to get lean at that body fat percentage. It just means you've had enough. You've had enough cheat days. That's why you're 30%. You need to now replace all those cookies and candy. Just replace it with sweet potatoes and healthier carbs, all right? Because those healthier carbs are going to be slower digesting a lot of times, but they'll come with nutrients as well, all right? Very simple. And they'll keep you in a deficit most likely. But anyways, that's the rant for today. I want you guys to really, people watch the videos, man. I want y'all to, because I be seeing y'all in the live saying stuff. If you literally just touch grass and you start to try shit, you're literally gonna be in a better position. Because that's how I improved. I don't like to set goals and like just talk about them. That's not me. Like, so a lot of people saw me go from 150 at 6'1", which is garbage, right? 148 to 150 at 6'1", up to 195 in literally less than a year because I was sick of this shit. I was just sick of it. I was like, I'm sick of being skinny and disrespected. So I put on some muscle, and guess what? Life changed. And from then on, every goal I set, I just go towards it. See, the thing is, you guys don't set goals. You guys set goals in your head, but you don't write it down, and then you don't go towards it, and then you get mad when you don't reach it. If you don't write something down, visualize it, focus on it, fixate on it, obsess over it, it's not gonna fucking happen. All right, simple. Intention is always gonna beat everything else. So make sure you have intention with your goals.